that kind of gets you on that path, and it makes it easier for you to keep going. So these tips I'm going to give you can serve as a guide to developing a realistic strategy for saving enough money to reach your long-term and short-term goals. So basically, this is just to help you get started. There's a lot of things that you can do. It's more than five different ways that you can go about saving money, but these are five easy ways just to get you on that path. So let's jump right into it. Number one, record your expenses. So what you need to do is figure out how much you're spending. And you could do that by keeping track of your expenses. What I do is I make notes. I keep receipts. I keep a good bit of my receipts in my in a jar. I mean, in my drawer in my room, and I keep track of what I'm spending. Um, from takeout that you buy to any household item that you decide to buy, or any clothes that you buy when you go shopping. Keep all your receipts, make notes of all of that, so you'll have an idea of how much you spend every day, each week. Um, and then once you do that, organize your data that you gathered by categories. That gets you organized. So you do that and you put it in terms such as like your rent, your groceries, your gas, etc. And then also use your bank statements. That's very important. And you want to use your bank statements because a lot of times you may forget that you spent money on something. I when I first started, I wasn't using my bank statements, and then when I finally decided to grab one and take a look at it and try to match it to what I had written down and on my receipts, I realized I actually spent more than what I recorded. So use your bank statements just to help you be accurate. Some banks, such as Bank of America, actually allow you to use their spending and budgeting tool that they have on the site. I actually use that. I buy and purchase stocks. So I use Fidelity to purchase the stocks through them, or broker through them. So they also actually have a budgeting tool, saving and budgeting tool, and a spending and budgeting tool. And I got to tell you, it helps out a lot because again, it helps you be accurate and it helps you be organized. And it's a lot better to me than just writing stuff down on paper. Um, and once you get into even starting on that level of organizing the data and realizing how much you spend, I guarantee you'll realize that you spend a lot more than you think you do. Number two, budget for savings. Now, once you have an idea of what you spend in a month, you can then begin to organize your recorded expenses into a workable budget. Now, your budget should outline how your expenses measure up to your income so you can plan your spending and limit overspending. Always factor in expenses that occur regularly, but not every month. That would be things like car maintenance. You got to get your oil changed probably like every 3 months or so. You want to make sure that's also in your budget. And in your budget, make a savings category. So in this category, you want to set a goal to probably save about 10 to 15% of your income. Um, you know, and even if you can't save 10 to 15% right now, um, you know, start out with 5%. Just start somewhere where you can start putting a little bit of money into your savings account. Now, as you get raises, don't do what a lot of people do and say, oh, I got a raise, now I can add on another bill. A lot of times the raises aren't huge. You probably make after taxes like an extra 40 $50 on your paycheck. But when you get that extra 40 or $50, take that money and add that to the amount you're saving. So let's say you're saving $100 every paycheck, which is $200 a month. Well, if you add on $50, that $200 a month will turn into $300. So, and it'll increase as you continue on. So, you know, start where it's comfortable for you, so that you won't dip into your savings and end up spending that money anyway. You want to do things in a way where it's gonna actually move you forward and not keep you stagnant in the same place. That's the goal here. Um, Now, number three, find ways to cut your spending. So if your expenses are so high that you can't save as much as you like, it might be time for you to cut back. Now, this one here is a hard one, guys. Um, what you have to do is pick out non-essentials that you can spend less on, such as entertainment, dining out. You should also look for ways to save on your monthly expenses, like your cable, your cell phone, even your car insurance. You know, uh, with your cable, some people don't even use cable. There's a lot of people who pay for cable who don't even watch TV, who probably look at videos on their cell phone or watch movies on their cell phone or their laptops more than anything. There's all kind of different things out here that you can use now that's honestly a lot cheaper than cable. Not saying cable's a bad thing, but there are just things you can do to cut back on your spending on these things. Cell phone bills, you can search around for different cell phone companies and probably get the same quality of service, paying a lot cheaper for it. Um, Car insurance. We like to go with the big names because those are the ones that we see on TV. But in actuality, there are a lot of car insurance companies or insurance companies that offer the same exact things that your current company offers, but will charge you a whole lot less than what you're paying right now. So you just got to do the groundwork. That's all it is. It's about doing the groundwork. Now, also, cut back on how much you spend on your activities when you go out. And a good way to find to do that and find cheaper ways to go out and have fun would be by using using resources. You have resources like Facebook. Facebook always sends you different events that's going on around in your community, and in your city. And a lot of times the events that's there, they're free. You have a lot of free events that's going on that you don't know about, that you could take your family to. Um, Also, you could use the free times, or whatever different free newspaper that they offer, in your city or state, that shows what events are going on around where you live. And when you use those, try to find free or low cost events that reduce spending tons of money on entertainment. Another thing too, you can cut back on all the subscriptions that you may have. A lot of people have tons of subscriptions, and some of them they don't even use anymore. I actually had two of them that I recently cut back on, and it saved me some money because I was never using this. I think I used it probably the first 2 months that I got it, and after that I never used it again. So, and it took a while for me to realize that, hey, I'm not using this. So then I got rid of it. And then another thing with cutting back, and this is the hard one, try to commit to eating out only twice a month. And when you do get takeout, try places that fall into the cheap eats category. Now, I'll be honest with you, eating out is something I do a lot. I manage in a restaurant. My wife manages in a retail store. We are constantly on the go. We work a lot of hours, so I can relate to a lot of people who also live this type of lifestyle where they're on the run, and they feel like they got to eat quick. But if you really add up the amount of money that you spend on eating out, I'm telling you, it's a lot. That will probably, if you could cut back on that, that will probably be where you would save probably the majority of your money, because it's a lot cheaper when you buy food from the grocery store. You take your lunch, it lasts you, probably can last you up until you're about to get paid. And then when you want to treat yourself, then you can go out to eat. And I'll be honest with you, when you do treat yourself after you haven't gone out to eat in a while, it feels like a reward. It feels better versus when you go out to eat all the time. Because I know for me, I was eating out so much at one time that I started getting tired of eating takeout. So it's very hard But if you commit to trying to eat out either twice a month or maybe once a week, even if start small, cut it down at first to like, maybe twice a week. If you're the type that eats out every day, cut it down to twice a week and then see how much money you save. Um, and then again, when you go out to eat, try to eat at the cheaper places where you're not spending a lot of money, and look at their menu and see what you can buy that's cheaper on the menu, with food that you can actually enjoy. All right. So now, number 4, set goals for saving. Uh, Start by thinking of what you want to save for, whether it's a wedding, a vacation, or just planning for your retirement. Figure out how long it takes for you figure out how long it's going to take for you to save for it. And then start with some short-term goals. Like some short-term goals that I have is that, or one of the short-term goals that I have is that I would like to have I always like to have between 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses in case of an emergency. And I'm gonna tell you why this is important, or I'll give you an example. Um, you know, we all know about the illness that came around, and it took a lot of people out of their jobs, and a lot of jobs furloughed their employees. Well, my wife was one of the people who was furloughed, and for a second, all the bills had to fall on me. Well, the good thing is I had about 3 months worth of savings set aside. That helped out a lot because we didn't miss a beat. Everything was still comfortable. My job even at the time took away our bonuses. And, even with that happening, because I already have savings set aside, it didn't hurt us financially. So it's very, very important to having a savings account at the top of your list. Because I'm gonna tell you, like I think it's about, I could be wrong, but about 69% of Americans don't have more than $1,000 in their savings account. So that should tell you something right there. $1,000, if you're renting an apartment, that's you fall behind on rent. That's probably gonna be all of your savings right there. So just that's something to think about, right? Um, so my goal is to actually get to having 6 months now worth of savings, because I know that if something happens or something even happens to me, I don't have to worry about putting stress on me or my family when it comes to being able to pay for our bills. Um, and also, if we decide we want to go on a little vacation, and do that too. When you reach your goal, set you a goal of where you want to get to, and once you surpass that, then say, okay, well, in this next couple of months, as we have this, we're gonna celebrate and we'll go on a little weekend trip or something like that. Always reward yourself, because that gives you something to shoot for. If you're married, do it as a family. Give yourselves something to shoot for. Now, one of the things you want to do too, um, make sure your short-term goals are small and achievable. And that's pretty much what I was saying earlier. Start where it's something that's doable. Make sure that the goals you set are measurable and they're doable. Don't give yourself something that's unattainable for you at the moment. Make sure it's attainable. And then, just like with anything else, once you've reached that goal, then kind of set the bar a little bit higher and stretch for something else. Okay, cool. Now, number 5, decide on your priorities. Now, after your expenses and your income, your goals are likely to have the biggest impact on how you allocate your savings. So be sure to remember your long-term goals. It's important that planning for a retirement doesn't take a back seat to your short-term needs. So prioritize your savings goal. You want to do this by having a clear idea of where to start saving. For example, if you know you're going to need to replace your car in the near future, don't wait to start saving for that. Do that now. I can tell you now, I was in a situation again where, our cars, me and my wife both had paid off our old cars. We were enjoying not having a car payment for a while. My wife got a new job, and it's a job where she has to travel. So couldn't let my wife travel in a old 2006 Honda Accord, when it's 2019. So I had to buy her a new car. So you want to make sure that, and me knowing that was going to happen soon, I had to get my mind wrapped around the fact that I was going to have to start saving for that right away, because it's so much better to be proactive than it is to be reactive. Being proactive puts you ahead of the game. Being reactive can put you behind the 8 ball. So you want to always remember to try to always get ahead of the game. So, okay, family, those are my 5 easy ways to start saving money. If you like the video, please hit that like button for me. It helps me with the YouTube algorithm, and hit the subscribe button if you want to see my new and upcoming content. I have a lot coming your way. Thanks for watching. Now, start working towards your freedom. Thanks, guys.